Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Have you ever noticed how certain words just pop? They instantly create this really vivid picture in your mind. Well, that's what we're jumping into today. The power of words to take something from, kind of bland to absolutely brilliant, and how you can use that power to make your own descriptions totally come alive. Okay, so let's start with a little challenge. Imagine this. You see someone across the street, and you need to describe them to a friend on the phone. What's the very first thing that comes to your mind? How do you describe them?
A lot of us, probably most of us, would start with something simple. Something like, he is a man. I mean, it's accurate, right? It's a fact, but it's also really boring. It gives your friend almost nothing to go on. The picture in their head is, well, it's a completely blank canvas.
But now, look at this. What a difference. On the left, you've got that blank canvas. But on the right, he is a thoughtful man with a warm, friendly smile. Whoa. All of a sudden, a person just pops into your head, doesn't he? You can almost see him. You get a feeling for who he is. That right there is the power of just a couple of well-chosen words. So what's the magic ingredient we just used? Well, it's a little thing called an adjective. An adjective is simply a word that describes a person, a place, or a thing. Think of it like the color palette for your language. Adjectives are what add all the juicy details, the feeling, the life to everything you talk about. So let's break this down into a couple of simple categories, 2 toolkits you can use right away. First up, describing the outer self. All the stuff we can actually see with our eyes. All right, so this first set of tools is all about physical appearance. Words like tall or short, they give us a sense of scale. Something like curly-haired or bright-eyed adds a really specific feature. You can even describe how someone moves or presents themselves. Maybe they're graceful or really stylish. Every single one of these words helps to paint a clearer, more complete picture of what someone looks like. But a person is so much more than what they look like, right? I mean, the really interesting descriptions, they go deeper. And that brings us to our second toolkit. Words that show us a person's inner character. And these are the words that tell us who someone truly is, not just what they look like on the outside. Are they courageous in the face of a challenge? Are they super inquisitive, always asking questions? Maybe they're known for being incredibly witty, or they're just a deeply compassionate person. Words like ambitious or calm don't describe a face, they describe a soul. So here you have it, the 2 toolkits, side by side. On the one hand, you've got words for appearance, what we're calling the outer self, and on the other, words for personality, the inner character. Now, the real magic, the secret sauce, happens when you start mixing and matching from both lists. Okay, that's enough theory. Let's get our hands dirty. The best way to get good at this is to actually do it. So in this next part, we're going to put these words to work with a really simple, kind of fun exercise. Here's the game plan. It's a super simple 4-step recipe. First, just picture someone or something. Could be a friend, your pet, a character from a TV show, anyone. Step 2, pick just one word from that appearance toolkit we talked about. Then, step 3, pick one word from the personality toolkit. And finally, step 4, just smush them together. So, for example, if I'm thinking about my cat, I might pick fluffy for his appearance and, curious for his personality. Put them together and what do you get? A fluffy and curious friend. See? In just 4 little words, you get a really clear and honestly kind of charming picture, don't you? Okay, your turn. Go on. Think of a favorite character from a movie, a book, a video game, whatever. Got someone in your head? Great. Now pick one outside word that describes how they look and one inside word that describes who they are. See how fast you can create a description that's got both the physical and the personal in it. This little exercise, it might seem really simple, but what you're actually practicing here is a genuine communication superpower. So let's wrap this up by looking at why this is such a big deal. And here's the so what. Why does any of this actually matter? Well, because describing things well isn't just for poets or authors. When you can tell a better story, people lean in and listen. When you can describe someone with real understanding, you build a much deeper connection. Honestly, using vivid language just helps you and everyone you talk to see the world in way more color and detail. So, I'm going to leave you with one last question to chew on. After thinking about all these words, for what's on the inside and what's on the outside, what's the one word you hope people use when they describe you? Just think about that for a second. That single word can say so much about who you are and maybe even who you want to become. Thanks for joining this explainer.